Hello folks, Typhon Carter here, and I bring to you DPP Revival Invitational. This is grand finals between martial law going by Morgana and Kadabra and famously responsible gun owner Gilbert Arenas. Yes, that's right, the former Washington Wizards All-Star. No, I'm just kidding everybody, it is Marcop. So because this is reset, and if you're watching this, then you will know that Marcop won the initial best of 5. There was some tension at the end of that set, to say the least, but so this is truly winner takes all in this best of 5 series, as Marcop had to come in from losers to win the first best of 5. The question is, can he pull it off again, or will Marshall get together and finish the job here? So $550 for first place on the line here. And that being said though, let's jump right into this. Zapdos lead, Jirachee lead. So Zapdos here could threaten the T-Wave, could threaten Heat Wave as well. Whereas for Jirachee, could be Scarf, could be a million things, but we don't know for sure. Gets Toxic here on turn 1, so that's a huge Toxic, putting a timer on the Zapdos for the Jirachee, and this might be Fire Punch Iron Head Toxic Jirachee, and Gyarados is going to be the Heatran switch. Gonna go straight into Zapdos, and it's gonna eat a lot of damage from that Waterfall, so that's an offensive Zapdos from the looks of it, or CB Gira. And the Jirachee's gonna eat up this T-Bolt, and it looks like the Jirachee is faster. And Rocks will be up, so that Zapdos doesn't have much of a chance to heal up from the looks of it, outside of a sack. And Heatran's gonna come in on this, and Latias is gonna be pivoted out, scouting out the Earth Power here. And Heatran's gonna pivot back in and catches the Lati switch instead. And Latias going to pop the Pasho on the Heatran. Heatran's gonna explode, so that's a 1-for-1. 9 turns in though. For Marcop, this team, there's probably a Tyranitar in the back from the looks of it, and then the last slot here could be something like a Breloom, could be you know, like a bulky wind condition, like a Scizor, or lots of plausible lasses for Marcop. Whereas for Marshall, this is a Zapdos, Heatran, Latias. There is like a real shot that this might be just a very offensive team from Marshall. Could be an offensive take on Zapdos Starmie, could be, you know, something, there's probably another Steel, maybe a Jirachee or a Scizor, if it's like one of those red offenses. We're gonna find out soon enough. Infernape is revealed, so it is in fact a red offense. Scizor is still plausible, could also be a Tyranitar in the back. Latias gonna come in on this Heatran, and Rotom's gonna come in, so fantastic double switch there from Marcop, getting the Rotom in on the Latias and scouting. Probably was trying to cover up the Infernape. Now if you're Marcop, this is an interesting predicament for both players, because Marcop most certainly is aware that Marshall has a Pursuiter, either a Tyranitar or a Scizor in the back, so Marcop could switch out here, trying to cover that, or he could stay in trying to catch the Lati with a straight Shadow Ball. For Marshall, same thing, could pivot out, could stay in, both plausible. Tyranitar is revealed, so that's the Pursuiter of choice here, and straight into Scizor, so fantastic double there by Marcop, and just got Bullet Punch here, got to play it straight, so winning the position battle here, and Breloom's got to come in as the last. So this is one of those double fighter offenses, and that Breloom is already down to low health. Mach Punch will not kill, and Bullet Punch is gonna take care of things. So for Marshall, this is, man, he's got his back against the wall, because that Rotom is now an immense threat to Marshall's team. Shadow Balls here actually does not kill, and Overheat will KO, so again, both pokes going down, but the Jirachee can hold things down here. And Healing Wishes the Zapdos, going to go back up to full, but just gonna get exploded on. And just like that, Marcop's gonna take game 1. So a fantastic game from Marcop, and this was like a 18 turn game, but this was a fantastic positioning battle from both players, like just trying to outposition the other player, trying to outplay each other, especially in grand finals. But ultimately Marcop was able to come out ahead, was able to catch the pursuit double with the scissor, and that is that. So again, best of 5. Let's go into game 2. Here we are in game 2. Empoleon lead, Togekiss lead. Togekiss lead, usually this is something you see in the back. Right off the bat, the first thing I'm thinking if I'm seeing this from Marshall in grand finals no less, this is probably a para-spam of some kind. So like Togekiss, Jirachee, you know, like Clefable, several T-Wave spreaders that you can think of. Whereas for Empoleon is generally one of the better ways to like kind of trade with Togekiss, but has to be weary of something like Aura Sphere. So like just keeping that in mind. Could be Specs, could be Sash, we don't know for sure. Gotta swap out the Blissey. Blissey, fantastic way to kind of cover up that Togekiss. Air Slash is gonna do 15% there, but really it's closer to 9%. Gotta get rocks up here into a Skarm, so this could be Paraspam, could be Stealth Rocks here. Ice Beam doing a lot, so oh, that's a Suicide Skarm. Like just based on how he's playing this, and oh, just got sacked to Togekiss. Interesting, and Lucario is gonna come in. He gets Dark Pulsed on the switch, so Special Lucario actually a pretty interesting niche option here. This looks like a Togekiss Hazard Stack HO of some kind, or like Marshall was trying to disguise this. This Dark Pulse Lucario, usually Lucario with like CM, if that's what it is a pretty interesting option because of the fact that one, you can get around something like Wisp Rotom. So if Marshall has several physical attackers in the back, then Lucario is like a good lure into defensive Rotom. Latias gotta come in here, just gotta get the T-Wave off. Doesn't quite kill. This might be Fist Plate or like Shuka Lucario, we don't know for sure. And I think Marcop is trying to fish for a full para here. And once he gets that, then he will switch out. Finally gets it. He was kind of due for one eventually. Got Dragon Pulse here, just gotta try to wear this thing down. And just gonna keep recovering, and Marshall has no reason not to keep Dark Pulsing here, trying to fish for a critical hit. Oh, gets full parried again. And just gotta keep getting worn down by Dragon Pulse. And the same loop is gonna continue. Question is whether or not Marcop can keep enough PP. Recovers here, Dark Pulses. And I think either like Marshall's gonna get crit and force Latias to burn more recovers, or what's gonna happen here is that Latias will eventually win out. So yeah, using the recover PP a little too liberally. Oh, finally there's the crit that Marshall was looking for. Gotta swap out, going to Swampert, and Swampert will threaten an Ice Beam or Ice Punch. Ice Punch it is, and gets frozen. So that Latias playing with fire and paid for it. But Freeze Claws is active, so this will work out in Marco's favor. Waterfall's here, Skarm's gonna go down. Zapdos is revealed, so this might be Magnet Zap or Off Zap. Maybe it's... oh, just got pivot back out in the Pert. Draws out the Blissey, so fantastic double there from Marshall. And Latias is gonna come in, probably just gonna get sacked for this Swampert, assuming it doesn't immediately fall out. And yeah, the Latias gonna go down. And Marcop probably has a second steal in the back. Probably a Jirachee, maybe a Bronzong even. Well, Bronzong would be a weird fit, but you get my point. Probably a T-Tar in the back too, if the Blissey does not have Shadow Ball or something. But Blissey, in more recent times, you've seen like it being experimented more with the option of running Shadow Ball or like Ice Beam, for example, because of the fact that one Blissey, you can use that to keep something like sub Rotom, sub Gengar honest, because those normally won't be able to beat Blissey. But if it's only Seismic Toss Blissey, then Rotom, for example, can just kind of hold out, right? And discharge sub. The last move's either Hidden Power Ice or Toxic, or maybe even Heat Wave. And Donphan's just got Protect here, and just got Protect again into the Rotom. This Rotom, we don't know if it's Colbur or if it's just Scarf Wisp. Both are plausible, but yeah, so Marcop's got to be weary of potentially getting tricked as well, so that's just something to keep in mind. And this Swampert probably just gonna be an immense threat to Marcop's team. And gonna get EQ'd on the way here. And that Metagross looks like it might have been Iron Ball trick meta. And Gira's gonna come in here. Gira's got Waterfall here, that's a CB Gira, and the Pert will just take its kill. So Empoleon's gonna come in. Empoleon actually kind of annoying in this position for Marshall, and oh, that Rotom going down. That was gonna come in. So the reason why Marshall did not want to let the Swampert go is because of the fact that, one, if the Swampert goes down, then Blissey just can actually just flat out win the game, depending on what that last move is. If it's like Shadow Ball, if it's Ice Beam, because I know that's something that PDC or Osgood, they've experimented with on Blissey, for example. So, like on some of their teams, so that's like something to keep in mind. And sacrificing the Rotom was not the worst play by any stretch of the imagination, because if this is like Subtox Zapdos, then that's one way Marshall can win this end game. But we're gonna find out soon enough. Gonna come in, trying to draw a double, gets what he's looking for. This Swampert is going to do a significant damage to this Donphan, and Donphan EQ doing 40, and Ice Shard will probably finish it off, and yes, it does. So now the question is whether this Zapdos can actually hold out, and the last is in fact Hidden Power, so Blissey will actually just win this, more or less. Gotta get a Rapid Spin off here. And I think if you're Marcop, you're probably feeling pretty good about this, as you can just go into Blissey. And Blissey here will just be able to Seismic Toss without much of a consequence. And, oh, just got Shadow Ball here trying to waste some PP. So yeah, Marshall basically never had a chance. Critical hits there. Oh, interesting. And all the Blissey has to do is just like make the Zapdos run out of sub PP. And the reason why Marshall is not clicking sub right away is because he wants to try and force Marco to run out of Seismic Toss or Shadow Ball PP. And sub down to 12 subs here. So Blissey can just, honestly, what I would do if I am Marcop is I would maybe start switching around a little bit, like maybe bring the Donphan in on turns where the Zapdos is incentivized to just, you know, click Roost, and then like click Protect, and then like just keep going from there. That's what I would do. And yeah, Marcop's clicking Stealth Rock there, trying to waste a ton of PP. And discharges again. I'm gonna speed this up because this is not the most interesting endgame, as it's Zap versus the world. Especially when Marco has several means to, you know, switch out at any point and can proc Natural Cure. Okay, finally mixes up, trying to catch the Donphan coming in. Discharges again. Stealth Rocks. And let's see, how is he doing on PP? Marco's got 13 of those, and Marshall not wanting to play this out, says GG. And Marcop is up 2-0, so he is 1 win away from winning the entire Invitational. And you know, if you're Marshall, I mean, a question now is like, your back is against the wall. What will we bring in this game free? Again, this is do or die for Marshall, as you know, like, this was probably the grand finals was the first time he lost a series throughout the entire Invitational, and now he is facing adversity yet again. But enough said though, let's go into game 3. Here we are, game 3. Potential clincher here. Starmie lead, Gliscor lead. Instantly swaps out into Gyarados. Does not want to deal with a possible Spec Starmie. Instead, it's a Trick Flame Orb Starmie. And Gyarados is going to be permanently crippled. And that Waterfall doing pitiful damage. Question is, what kind of Gyara this is? Oh, it might be like Whacken. Might be a Whacken Gyara. Oh no, it was Lum Gyara. And this Gyarados gonna slowly get worn down, and I think Marshall is just looking for an opportunity to try and get the Tyranitar in. So gotta sacrifice the Gyarados. There's the T-Tar entry. Just gotta surf here, pops the Pashel. It will most certainly die. Surprisingly lives that, but it's just gonna get pursued it now. Down to 32%, so significant chip damage from the Starmie. Gliscor is going to come in into Marshall's own Gliscor. And Marcop's team probably a bulky offense. For Marshall, this is probably like Gliscor offense with, you know, like maybe it's like a Jirachee Gliscor, might be Scarf Gliscor, we don't know for sure. Because like normally these kind of Gliscor as a lead in DPP is pretty interesting in the fact that it can just run taunt. There's a ton of options that Gliscor can run on lead, but it's not super common. Let's keep going. Rocks are up. U-turns here, so Marcop probably bringing what looks to be a sassy Gliscor, and probably has a mag in the back too, and no item is revealed. And Dragon Pulse is there. And that Latias might be CM HP Fire. We don't know for sure. Oh, he gets Focus Blast there. Was probably trying to catch a Tyranitar or Scizor entry. And just got Explode there. Explosion Gengar on the Gliscor. Now this is a forgotten set on Gengar, Life Orb Explosion. The really nice thing about Life Orb Explosion Gengar is that you can generally get the jump on something like Blissey, which normally would wall you. But so this is a bit of an older tech that you would have seen, and it's also nice for, like, you know, like just sacrificing the Gengar to open up a clean entry, things like that. But it's primarily to get rid of something like Clef if you don't want to rely on Focus Blast, for example, or, you know, just something weaken. You just want to weaken something, and you know you're going to be pursuit trapped anyways. So that's why you might use it. Tyranitar is going to come in on this Gliscor, and that is Scarf Ice Punch T-Tar into a Jirachee Gliscor, and Lucario is going to come in. That looks to be an SD Lucario perhaps. And no, just go get Dark Pulsed on the way here. That might actually be Specs Lucario, could be CM Luke. Don't know for sure. But Special Lucario on this kind of 6 actually makes a ton of sense for Marshall, because again, something like Rotom, total pain in the neck to deal with. Especially Will-O-Wisp Rotom in particular can be troublesome, so that's generally one of the reasons why you might want to use Special Lucario. And Marcop's own Lucario is going to come in, and he's bringing out his own Special Luke. It's probably like Shuka Vacuum Wave Lucario, but we don't know for sure. And this meta, that I think that might be like an Impish meta or something along those lines. Just got Meteor Mash here, get rid of the Gliscor, get it out of the picture, and Lucario is going to come in, and just got Vacuum Wave. And it might come down to, oh, gonna go into Jirachee to cover, doesn't want to play for the tie. And Jirachee should be able to do a significant amount of damage here. Hidden Power Ground. And now at this point, I think Vacuum Wave Lucario is most certainly guaranteed a win. Especially with the weakened Tyranitar, and Vacuum Wave is just going to do too much. Jirachee's going to go down here. And I think the only way Marcop gets out of this is with a critical hit Vacuum Wave. And we will find out soon enough. Just gotta get Vacuum Wave there. And Marshall is going to hold on, showing some sign of life, as it is now 2-1 in Marcop's favor, as Martial Law has taken back Game 3. So again, we're gonna go into Game 4 real soon with a possible clincher. Marshall's team, both teams pretty interesting. You know, you got two Gliscors, albeit used in very different manners. And I think like hiding the back Jirachee was pretty good on Marshall's end, being able to save it so that you can avoid playing in the Lucario mirror. Anyways, that said though, let's go into Game 4. Hero of Game 4, possible series clincher, possible invitational closer. Crest lead, Zapdos lead. Crest got a trick turn 1 here, tricks the Scarf into a gets a Damp Rock in return. And turn 1 here, so Marshall bringing a Rain team from the looks of it with Damp Rock Zapdos. If it's Damp Rock, then what this tells us is that this is probably like Zapdos, Kingdra, Bronzong, Quillfish, Kabutops, and then maybe like Rotom, or like even Jirachee or Scizor. That's like a couple options that I could see on Martial Law's end. So bring out the cheese here, kinda, and then Marcop with the Crest lead. There's a ton you can do with this, like obviously the Trick lead, but there might be like a Registeel in the back, probably a Mag in the back too, with like Pink Blob, or something along those lines, maybe a CM Clef, but Bronzong is going to be revealed in fact, and this is most certainly Damp Rock Bronzong. Donphan's going to come in into the Ludicolo, so yeah, again, very clearly a Rain team, and Ludicolo is going to score a KO early, and D-Knight's going to come in and threaten a kill, and just got Outrage here just to punch some holes early on. This might be DD Jolly Life Orb D-Knight, but we don't know for sure. And gets full Parrot there, and gonna go into Donphan here, and straight into Kingdra, and Kingdra will threaten a huge Hydro Pump, probably, or a Draco Meteor. Hydro Pump here doing 56% on a crit, and this Kingdra, this is either like Mystic Water Kingdra, or maybe it's Lum Kingdra, but it's most certainly Rain Dance free attacks Kingdra. So Hydro Pump, Dragon Pulse, and then maybe it's Draco Meteor as the third attacking move. And then D-Knight's got to come in, probably got to threaten a... Oh yeah, Outrage is there, so yeah, it's most certainly a Jolly D-Knight if he's willing to make that kind of play. And Bronzong on 1% gets full Parrot again, so Marshall probably hoping he could have at least gotten an explosion off. But no, it's actually Custap Berry. And Donphan's gonna get the Rapid Spin off, gotta keep rocks off for good. Question is, if this is Protect, then he's gonna have an easy time managing this. And Hydro Pump missed, so Marshall getting nothing right now in this do or die game. And running Rain straight into a Tyranitar on a Hydro Pump miss no less was an absolute killer. But I think what Marcop was content with doing was just letting the Tyranitar go so that he can bring the D-Knight in and get one last attack in before it dies to Life Orb Recoil. But no, it's actually just gonna live. And Crunch is there, and the Kingdra on its last legs here. But it's gonna be picked off by Hazards, and Uxi's gonna come in, so yep, there's another Rain setter. I think the last Rain abuser is maybe a Quillfish on Marshall's end. Gonna Yawn here. And gonna bring the D-Knight in. Rain Dance is up. Kingdra is going to be sacrificed. Outrage is here, and yep, Quillfish is the last indeed. Waterfalls. And the last is meta, so this is most certainly impish meta if Marcop is willing to bring that in. T-Punch is there. Yawns again. Gets Meteor Mashed. How will he respond? Waterfalls here. Gotta get T-Punched on the way out. And don't forget the Zapdos is choice locked. So it may come down to the Hinpar Ices doing enough and whether the Metagross can wake up in time. Is he gonna wake up? Yes, he will. And Thunder Punch is there. Hinpars again. The question is, can Donphan will live one without barring a crit. No crit, and Marcop will be your DPP Revival Invitational winner. And he is going to walk away with $550. So congratulations to Marco P. And congratulations to Martial Law for a fantastic run of his own as well. And I'm just gonna take a few minutes here, not breaking the game down for like a moment. First of all, I would like to thank everybody over at Revival Tournaments who helped make this project possible. Whether that was Gold Mason, who actually approached me with the idea of DPP having its own channel and having me run it, to all the people that helped me throughout these last, I don't know, several months at this point, whether it was VZR, who was probably the first guy I brought in, or Wild Rumpus, obviously Mason, and Finchley, Minty Herb, whether helping me with editing or thumbnails, that kind of thing. I'd also like to thank all the people that joined me for co-commentary or helping me take a couple sets off my hand to commentate as well, whether that was PDC, George 182, Jirachee, We Free Kings as well. Unfortunately, he was kept busy, but I'm still very grateful to everybody who helped me along the way. And obviously, thank you to everyone who donated to our tournaments' prize pool, and to you, the viewers, who come in and click on these videos, watch them, comment on them, and things like that. So super grateful. And I'm also just gonna take a brief moment to kind of talk about what's next for this channel now that I have invitational coverage all wrapped up. At the time I'm recording this, I'm also covering Smogon Premier League DPP matches on my own channel, so if you want to check that out, that'd be great. As for what's next for this channel, right now, at the time I'm recording this, we have a DPP Ubers tournament that is well underway, and I have a couple people that are going to be helping commentate DP Uber matches for that channel, and so you can expect that at some point in the near future. So that's what's going to be happening for at least the next couple months. And that being said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.